Right, let's move on to those trending topics now. So first up, hashtag Trump. And this, of course, Donald Trump, after being found guilty of sexual assault. And of course, he will now have to pay the victim $5 million. But of course, his legal team has indicated that he will be appealing this particular ruling. But this is why Trump is trending. And of course, as you know, he is also mounting another bid to take over the White House, and all of this happening at the moment. So that's why Donald Trump is trending. Moving on to the next one, stage 10. And as you can imagine, South Africans are very, very disgruntled at this point about load shedding and what we're having to deal with in the country. So currently we are officially on stage 6. But of course, some people would beg to differ. One of the other trending topics this morning is hashtag Blackheath. So apparently the area around Blackheath and Northcliffe, that sort of area, they've been without power for more than 20 hours in some places, and people really, really disgruntled about this. And then stage 10, you've got independent energy analyst Lungile Mashele saying that currently Eskom had about a 6,000 megawatt deficit, and the power utility could supply only about 25 megawatts against the electricity demand of 31,000 megawatts. So, of course, now we're talking about bracing ourselves for more intense power cuts and possible stage 10 load shedding this winter. And it's looking very, very bleak. But yeah, that's what people are talking about. Very, very disgruntled. Then hashtag 47 million. And this has got to do with the Vodacom versus Makate case. And this was in the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein yesterday. And Vodacom, of course, have come up after the High Court ruling that they would pay Makate 47 million, which of course he has rejected, and stating that he is owed at least 5% of whatever has been generated on this particular Please Call Me app. And it was interesting, the conversations and some of the arguments that were also made in the Supreme Court of Appeal. For example, the fact that it is only the Vodacom CEO who can determine what the amount would be, which was very strange, bizarre, interesting all at once. And of course, the justices of the Supreme Court asking for explanations on a range of issues around the arguments presented by both sides. So this one is continuing, but that's why 47 million is trending, because that's what Vodacom had proposed they should pay Makate for his invention. And then the final one is hashtag Clinton. So this is Bill Clinton, and very interesting conversation about the electoral system in the United States, talking about abolishing the electoral college system. And Bill Clinton has, of course, come out in support of this, but of course talking about sufficient safeguards to ensure that things, I suppose, do not go haywire. And it's interesting also because we've been having conversations in South Africa about changing the electoral system. So it's interesting that this is happening in the United States as well. So those are the trending topics this morning. The former US presidents are there, and of course all sorts of things. You've got stage 10, stage 8. Listen, when it comes to Eskom, I don't think South Africans know what to say anymore. And if you look at what's happening in Parliament, Scopa yesterday hearing from the security cluster about investigations, and I almost want to say alleged investigations, because nothing is happening, nothing is being done.